reports, because technically they're AdWords conversions, right? So I would like to see those conversions in my AdWords report, right? So that is the reason why we have this option of importing goals into from analytics into AdWords. Okay, now when is this option highlighted within the conversions report? How many of us have seen the conversions report in AdWords? Okay, so AdWords account has a particular conversions report. So when you have enough goal conversions from the paid medium, which is AdWords, if I can name that as CPC, and you have integrated your AdWords and analytics accounts, this particular option gets highlighted. Okay? When you click on that option, it'll give you the options to import all the goals that you have defined in an analytics into your AdWords accounts, into your AdWords conversion report. One quick thing to note here is that it takes 48 hours initially for the data to start recording, because like we discussed, analytics takes 24 hours for the data to show up, to be completely updated. And obviously AdWords conversion report also takes 24 hours for the data to be updated. So technically in the beginning, it will take 48 hours for the goals to show up from analytics into AdWords. Okay? After that, when you have goals conversions getting recorded regularly from your AdWords medium or from the paid medium, you will see them getting recorded in 24 hours. No, previous data will not get imported. The import option will only be enabled once you have integrated your AdWords and analytics account. Okay, it works the same way just as it works with filters, because you know when you set up a filter, the filter will work from the time you have set up, 24 hours from the time you have set up, and for the data that gets recorded then onwards, and not the previous historical data. Okay?
One quick point to note, like in case you guys are setting up conversion tracking, that's conversion actions in your AdWords account, ensure that you don't duplicate the same thing in your goal conversions, because when you're importing them, they're going to skew the data, because if it is for a specific campaign you're looking at data, it's going to you're going to get double counted, the conversions might get double counted. But if you're able to run a report and identify them, well, fair enough. But in case someone is just looking at the conversions tab and looking at the data, that might not be the best setup. Yeah?
Okay, so to just take you through the goals report here, I am currently in the AdWords campaigns report, and I would like to see what are the goal conversions pertaining to my AdWords data. Okay, so campaigns report actually will give you the campaign data and the visits and associated information. But if I would like to see the goals data corresponding to these campaigns that I have received, then I obviously will go into goal set 1, goal set 2, and things like that. So just to see how the data shows up here. Okay, so there is your goal conversion rate, and if you notice, it shows you the specific goals corresponding to the campaigns and the data accordingly. Okay. Goal conversion data for AdWords can be seen at a campaign level and also ad group and keyword level. So you can always segment data. Even if you go to the keywords report, you should be able to see goal conversions corresponding to those keywords. Just to understand the report better, what does keywords report give me? What kind of keywords does the keyword report here give me? What are these keywords? Okay, so yes, to an extent, yeah, but the specific, sorry? Yes, so this specific thing there would be that the keyword report here basically gives me all the keywords that I have defined in my AdWords account. So when you set up a campaign, you're obviously setting up certain keywords, right? So this keyword report gives me those keywords. Okay, what is Math Search Queries? How different do you think is a keyword report from Math Search Query? Right. So you have a particular keyword that you have, defined in your AdWords account, but what you're telling the system technically is that anybody who uses a keyword that relates to this particular keyword or matches this keyword, please trigger my ad. That is what you're doing. So if, like you gave an example, if I have defined a keyword as laptop and I say, mini laptop, then it is related to the laptop keyword. But the exact search term that I'm using is mini laptop. And that is something that shows up in the Math Search Query report. Okay? The report that gives this keyword within the AdWords account is called the search term report. So it's basically the same, but within analytics, when you're looking at this data, that's the kind of data that it gives you. It gives you the exact keyword that a user typed when he clicked on your ad. Okay? And yes, you can see conversions data corresponding to those keywords also. What is the placements report? Yeah, so if you are opted into display, okay, and you are obviously, when you're opted into display, your ads tend to show up on related websites, right? So AdWords account as such will list something called as automatic placements, and it will give you all the URLs and all the domains where your ad was shown, okay? And you also have an option to manually set up certain websites and say, these are the websites I'm interested in, so please show my ads on these websites. So placement report basically gives you that data. It gives you the websites where your ad was seen, okay, and it gives you the corresponding visits. And of course, the corresponding conversions that you have. Okay, so if you notice, these are all the placements on which my ads were seen and the visits that got generated from those clicks. Okay? And you can also see the goal completions. Another important report, like you all said, is the all traffic sources report. You would like to know what kind of data is coming from what kind of sources and what medium. So that is one report that you would be looking at. And So if I have to see the goal completion rate, I am able to see for that specific source and medium. What do you understand by that goal conversion rate there? So my total visits here are 171. I'm sorry, 172. So if it says 57.99%, then please understand that it's out of the visits that are coming from that specific source and medium. So 57.99% of the people who came in from CPC have performed goals on my website. Okay. Okay, going down to the goal URL path, it will show you the specific goal completion location and accordingly the path, accordingly the number of conversions. Reverse goal path is something that we already looked at, right? And we also said how goal flow report will help you optimize and optimize the content on your website as well, depending on the goals that you have created. Because I'm actually discussing goals and the related data here, what do you really understand by bounce rate? No, nothing related to nothing related to goals, but what do you understand by bounce rate? Right. Right. Okay, and what is exit rate? Perfect. So, yes. Correct. Correct. So when bounce rate is being calculated for a particular page, that page should be the beginning of that session. Okay? And when you're talking about exit rate, how exit rate is calculated for a certain page is when the page is the last page in the session. Okay? So most of the times, you know, we see a lot of scenarios where people write in and say, for a specific page, the bounce rate is just, I have so many page views, but the bounce rate is just 100%. Doesn't make sense, I'm losing out on my revenue, what's happening, right? So most often or not, that's the first page in the session and people have simply exited from that page. They did not really move on to any other page, right? And that's the reason why we say, look at the reports that is giving you the exit rate, the bounce rate, because especially the report that talks about the top landing pages and the exit pages report. The reason why we say is analyze these reports is because it tells you the user behavior on your website, right? It tells you, it's a simple example if I can take, if I'm looking at the top landing pages report, and I'm seeing a particular page getting a lot of page views, okay? And I don't have that page as a destination URL of my ad in my account, in my AdWords account for my advertising, I am missing out, right? Because I see so many people coming onto that page. Why not I utilize that page and get some money out of it? Let me guide people to click on my ad and go to that page and perform a conversion or purchase something on my website. Make sense? So that's the reason why we say analyze, look at your top landing pages report and the exit report and see how people are moving on your website. Okay, so did that help answer the exit rate and the bounce rate question that you guys had? Great. Sure. Right. Correct. Mm-hmm. That's yes. So exactly. So we possibly will not be able to define what is a good percentage, but it depends on how you would like to analyze it. So if I'm looking at a certain page, and I see that if you look at the path, like I said, exit rate is calculated for a particular page when it's the last page in the session, right? So if you are seeing the data being fine there, you know that, okay, people are going to this particular page at the end of the session, right? So that's why I said if the bounce rate is high, that's why we say if the bounce rate is high for a particular page, it means that people are not moving on to another page from that page. So that is why you want to optimize the content on that page. But yes, if people are, if the exit rate is high on a certain page for that session, then you know that people have moved on to that page after visiting all the pages in that particular path. Yeah. I would generally suggest whenever you're looking at your analytics account, try and play around a little bit with these reports, segment the data and see what kind of data it gives you. Because there are a lot of options that you can segment the data with. How many of you all have used advanced segments within analytics? Advanced segments allows you to, define add dimensions and metrics that you would like to see, just as custom reports does. Custom reports, again, is a little more advanced and gives you more advanced options. But what is good about these advanced segments and custom reports is that it allows you to define certain dimensions and metrics and then filter data accordingly. If I have to give you a simple example, if I would like to see, unique visitors, or say just visitors coming from a certain location, and what is the time spent by these visitors for a particular date range, right? So I'm basically creating an advanced segments and putting in all these dimensions and metrics, and I'm able to analyze the data, right? That brings me to the next question. How is time on site calculated? I'm sorry, there's something called what? Okay. Right. So the way analytics calculates time is that if I as a user reach the page on the website at 10 o'clock and I move at 10:10 to page 2. So technically 10 minutes is what I've spent on page 1. So the system tracks 10 minutes as the time spent for that session. Now, what if I spent 15 minutes on page 1 and exited from there? Bounce rate is 100%, time on site will be 0. The reason being, I did not move to page 2. I just went to page 1, I read all that I wanted to read, I stayed there for 15 minutes and I exited. So that's how analytics tracks the time on site. Okay. So technically, the time on site will consider the time spent on page 1 and page 2 and not page 3. Like you said, you spent 10 minutes on page 1, you spent 5 minutes on page 2. Now, you spent 5 minutes on page 2 and you moved to page 3. But the system will not consider the time spent on page 3 because you exited from page 3. Yes. Question? If you exit from page 1, then you go to page 1, you exit from page 1, then it's 0. You are within the session. Yeah, correct. Okay. So you are considered as a returning visitor there. Yeah. So you are a returning visitor, right? You were on page 1. You closed that. You came back. You again went from page 1 to page 2. So basically you are a returning visitor. So time on site will again be calculated from then on. Yes. For the second instance, the time on site will be calculated from the second visit onwards. Yes. So if I'm going from abc.com, so I go to one landing page on abc.com, say page 1 on abc.com, and I click on a link and I go off to XYZ, right? Right, so I'm going from abc.com to xyz.com. So technically, you're moving on to a different website. So the time on the site, ABC, will still be 0. Because it's not the same page, right? XYZ is a different domain and ABC is a different domain. So when it is calculating time on site for ABC, then you are not really on ABC. Yes, you obviously will be creating different profiles for that. Correct. Right. See, just like I said, when you are moving from one domain to another domain, it will not consider the time for the first domain. So even when you're talking about shopping cart, like within a transaction, if you are moving from abc.com to shop.checkout.com or whatever it is, the time on site spent will be calculated for abc.com and it will not really consider the time spent for the other domain. Yeah? You would like to add something to that?
If you have if you're tracking, I think you were referring to more about tracking both the domains in the same profile. Is that right? Okay, as long as you have the tracking code and it executes, then yes, just like the other pages, it's going to track the data. However, like she mentioned, if there are two different profiles, you're tracking both the different domains, then like how she mentioned, that's how it's going to be tracked.
Sure. Yes.
But somehow I'm not able to get it working. I still have my analytics code in my static domains, subdomains.
Okay, so that's more of an implementation question. So can we take that offline? Okay. Before we actually break, just want to take you through a scenario. I just remembered we were talking about in-page analytics report, and all of us agreed that it's a very important report and gives a lot of data. What do you think is a scenario where my in-page analytics report will not work? I have it set up, but say I am not seeing any data. Why do you think I'm not seeing any data in the in-page? Okay, one. what if it's an iframe and I have all the analytics code set up correctly? Everything is getting tracked correctly in all my analytics reports, but my in-page report is not working. What do you will check for? What is it that you will check for? Okay, always remember the first thing that you will check for is redirects on your website. If you have any redirects on your website, technically, analytics can track, even if you have redirects on your website and you put the code correctly. But in-page will not really show you any data. Secondly, the most important thing is the default page setting that you will set up within your analytics account is more important. So as such, if I have a website as abc.com, and my default page to abc.com is abc.index.html, the default page settings within my profile settings will be index.html. If I put the default page as abc.com/index.html, the data that is the reference data that is passed on is obviously not right as per the settings. So in-page may not work in that case. It actually throws up an error. Even if you click on the in-page report, it throws up an error saying, please check your default page settings, right? One very quick check, say I have my in-page analytics report. I am seeing data for all the links that I have on my website. For one particular link, I'm not seeing any data. I don't see any percentage data showing up. So why do you think that happens? Simple guess. Perfect. There's no code on that particular page. So technically when I'm clicking on that link and when the page loads, there is no visit being tracked there. So that may not show you any data. Okay? Those are just quick checks that I wanted to mention. All right, so we'll just take a break for the next 15 minutes, and then we'll come back for the last topic of the day. Sorry, you had a question?
We are assuming that course is everywhere, so we have not thought of this option.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Giving a case, like a user signed into Facebook, he explored the page for, let's say, Facebook. Then he moves on to a different domain, Banks of India entity.
Mm-hmm.
He's paying document for Then he comes back and refresh the page. That widget should be counted first page or second page.
If you refresh the Facebook page is what you're referring to? No, so that is within the same session that you are refreshing the page, right? Yes, so it will be considered in the same visit. Yes. Okay, so if it was, so that's why I asked you. If it was beyond 30 minutes, no, it's a different session then. Yeah. Yes, a session stands for 30 minutes. What, I'm sorry, what time duration? So, see, that's why I said, when you are moving from, so for example, he's moving from Facebook to a different domain, timesofindia.com, and he did not really go to another page on Facebook. So, technically, there is no time calculated, right? Times of India is a different domain, right? So, see, Facebook, say suppose Facebook page that he is on has a profile number 123-1. Times of India will have 234-1. So, you're going on to a different profile altogether. So, when time on site is calculated, time on site will be calculated for Facebook and time on site will be calculated for Times of India separately. Right, obviously, because it is being calculated in two different profiles, 123-1 and 234-1. Correct. So technically, if he's moving from Facebook page to Times of India and not moving on to another page on Facebook, Time on site will still be 0 for Facebook. Then time on site will be separately calculated for Facebook. See, he's moved on, right? So he's moved from page 1 to page 2, and then he moved on 2 times of India. So if he spent 10 minutes on page 1, and so again, this, if I take the same example, he came to page 1 at 10 o'clock, he moved to page 2 on Facebook at 10:15. From page 2, he moved off at 10:25 to Times of India. So he's in a different domain altogether. So what is the time on site for Facebook? No. So it's beyond that. No, it will not be counted. You're refreshing the page, you're coming after the session of 30 minutes. No. It will again be calculated from that session onwards. Yes.